All right. It's Jared here from Crypto Plan. How is everyone going? Are we panicking? Is the market crashing? Is One Harmony crashing? We're going to have a look at that in this video. We're going to have a look at what's going on. I see a sea of red, except for, well, I just did a video about Peercoin, and that's in the green a little bit, which is kind of a strange one. But yeah, I was going to do a video on One Harmony, and then I looked around and everything's crashing. I am going to outline what I think about this, and you probably all know what I'm going to think, because in general it starts with the letter S and ends with the letters ALE. We are having a crypto sale. Please like the video, please subscribe to the video, and I'll go into let's dive into the chart to have a look at One Harmony. And have you got what it takes to buy the dip right now, and be willing to hold on tight just in case there's further downside, right? So we're on this One Harmony chart that we usually use. It's the 4-hour chart, the WOBI chart. And yeah, we've got some downside action, but we just need to keep this into perspective. You know, like we've got things like XRP dropping 16%, but that's had a good run lately as well. ZRX down 15, Dents down 20, OXT is down 14, you know, so Bands down 14. So there's a lot of things that are down around about that 15 mark, a lot of 10% down. So it's basically a crypto sale day. These happen every now and again. And they're nothing to be afraid of. They're actually things to get excited about. If you're like me, I'm just trying to think what I could do to actually rebalance right now, and get into things that I love a little bit more. But we'll have to just wait and see. I'll probably wait a couple of hours and see what happens. But so if you can see, I've got a 50 and a 200 period moving average on this. Now, you can see, and I've always said that I feel like the 4-hourly chart on crypto is like the daily on stocks. So you can kind of think about this like the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average. Because things move so quickly, 4 hours is nearly like a day. So you can see that it's reacted to that 200 MA and bounced off it. So I feel like we're fairly safe, and that is backed up by the fact, and I'm going to kind of draw this on for you, is that we've got this kind of area here that it seems to have closed that gap. So that particular move was quite quick up there, and now it's just kind of done a couple of boings, tried to go higher, and then now it's crashed down to close that gap. So that's a full circle move now. So practically we're going to use this, this, I'm going to have to get right in there, but maybe 11.5 cents as a support line at the moment. So we might kind of get in a little bit closer and draw that support in. But no, actually I'm going to even just go a bit more nuts and just say, look, it could probably go anywhere down to that wick over there, and then this one here. So we could see a little bit of ranging in this zone, but we also could see a kind of a pop out of there depending on what happens in the market. So One Harmony, what do you reckon? Like, there was a lot of comments recently, people saying if it went down to 11, I'd buy again. If it went down to 13, people asking me, and I saw kind of 13.5. I kind of saw there, you know, somewhere in that gap. Maybe it could kind of test that quickly and bounce back up. But it seems like there's probably a news event or something going on. I don't even follow the news because the charts are telling me that there's a bit of news going on. I can't see Bitcoin correcting enough to really pull that trigger. So maybe you guys in the comments will kind of tell me what's going on. But you can see that the total market minus altcoins has dropped 8%. Now, all that says is that it's probably ran very far. So let's go and have a look at that. Yeah, so look at that. You know, since the 25th of March this year, we've had Oopsie doopsie. Since the 25th of March this year, we've had a 42% run. So an 8% pullback is fairly normal. And you can see that we had, a run there and a pullback. So it's kind of, this is what I mean about the bull market and choppiness. Once we get higher into market cap and higher into speculation territory and higher into retail FOMO, you're going to see a lot more of these sort of corrections happen. It is not a straight line. So we're just going to have to go back on the daily and go back over here just to see what I mean. You've got massive gaps there, where the market just jumped and never went back there, but then ran and pulled back, last cycle we've had 50% pullbacks in the total market cap. So an 8% pullback in the total market cap is not that bad today. It's just a little bit of a sale event, and this is why some traders or some people say keep cash on the sidelines, because it's the perfect opportunity right now to be adding to positions. But you've got to be cautious, because these 13% discounts, the price is still higher than it was 2 or 3 days ago. So it's not like you're getting any super bargains. You're just getting it cheaper than its most recent super high price for where the market is. But so One Harmony, where are we at? We are basically pulling a move that was always possible, which is just closing the gap. And I think I was kind of alluding to this in the last video, that these price discovery events here, they pulled back in this downward trend before they moved their way up. And this one went sideways a bit, but pulled back, and then it fired up. And then this one kind of gave us that signal, went up, but it didn't kind of go up to this level straight away on the pump and then pull its way back to reverse. So because this is kind of an indicator to me where I guess there's been a little bit of FOMOing going in, because the actual structure of the buying and selling has changed a little bit. So if we go back over, say, to this pump, where it went high and then low, lower high, dip, crash, higher high, higher low, and then kind of made its way out of there. This one did not make its highest high. It made through 2 higher highs after this price discovery event. And I was mentioning that when you do see this, and especially in bear markets, but in bull markets as well, it's kind of like a divergence indicator, or an indicator where things could reverse. And I think that's why I was saying that just be cautious, be prepared, because it faked out a couple of times out of my range that I've got drawn in here. I was never confident that it was going to fire and out of there at any time. I was very conservative in my last few videos about calling a higher high. Now, I'm still bullish on these targets long term. I'm still bullish on $1.30 to $3.80 as being, a range where I can see it going. But for that to happen, corrections have to happen, and this is just one of those. It's we've had a lot of upside, and it's time to kind of just consolidate a bit. So that's where we're at with Harmony. But the beautiful thing is that you can go to every single project and see that a similar thing is happening. A big run since March, and then a big dip today. Dash, a big run since March, and a big dip today. XRP, big run, and then a big dip. Stellar, a big run, a big dip. So if you're holding Harmony One and this has happened to you, you're not alone. Just look around you. EOS has had a big dip. Peercoin's had a big dip. No, sorry, Peercoin's the only one that hasn't had a big dip. But you can see on the 4-hourly, there's a lot of price action there. There's a big kind of candle, so it wants to push higher. But I guess it's looking around to the market and going, well, should I be dipping too? VeChain hasn't dipped as much, but it's a big dip. Had a good run of it the last few days. ZRX has had a good run of it the last few days, or definitely since March, ran up. pulled back, and then it's given a big dip again, you know. And it's always to try and test some prices that it's ran from, you know. So test some previous resistance levels and turn them into support, right? So that's what the charts do sometimes. Hathor, you know, had a really good run a couple of days ago, yesterday even, and then now it's just kind of pretty much lost all that ground. One Harmonies, we've had a look at that. Game Credits is actually holding pretty strong because it's in its consolidation pattern. It's kind of at the bottom of it, and I think it's still fairly undervalued compared to the rest of the market, you know. So Reef, big sell-off there. Not doing anything different to the rest of the market. Cakes had a big sell-off, but once again, it's still above where it was a week or so ago. You know, it's still well and truly above. It's not breaking through any support levels that were weak, if you know what I mean. So Band as well went up and pulled back. So they're all just pulling back to their previous kind of resistance levels, and just testing them out, testing the waters. You know, Dent had a really good run, and I traded out of it up here, and you know, you can see what's happened. But unfortunately, what I traded into has also had a correction. So, but not as big a correction. So for the trade itself, it's still a positive trade because, you know, OXT has not lost as much as DNT. So Theta, solid, strong, but once again, Theta's been through a large consolidation and it had a good run the last 2 days, so it's only kind of pulling back a little bit on the 4 hourly, but it's still kind of up on the daily. So yeah, I'd be interested to see. I might actually scour around the internet to see why everything's crashing today, but I just really think that it just happens, you know. Corrections happen. People, you know, I could sense a bit of cold feet out there, you know. And the one Harmony comments, it was like, "Oh no, this thing's run, it's done, it's dash," and it gives these people the right to kind of go, "I told you so." But realistically, it's a sale day in crypto. It's a sit on the sidelines or a sale day. So yeah, there's a sea of red out there, and there's opportunities galore. What's this Stratus token? This is one that I found the other day that I think could be a good chart entry right now. Got some good upside still to its all-time high. So $2 to $25 all-time high. Just had a dip, you know. So wouldn't be the worst one to buy. I don't think I can buy it on my exchange, but Stratus US dollar, for those that are looking for, you know, something that's a little bit undervalued. It's been as high as 25. It's giving me that kind of double upward tap thing that it wants to do a big pump, and volume is not so bad. It's kind of been increasing, and there's some decent volume there. Other than that, just going to leave it there. One Harmony is okay. Crypto's on sale. You know the story. Hold tight, remove the emotion, look away from the screens. Things will be okay, and you'll probably find that after this event, your portfolios will look very, very fresh and very, very green. I've been Jared. It's been Crypto Plan. Bye for now.